All right, let's dive into a fascinating little experiment. It's a simple game that tells us something profound about what it means to be human, that we care about something way more than just money. And that thing is fairness. To get started, I want you to think about a question that really gets to the heart of it all.
So just ask yourself this. Would you ever turn down free money? I mean, it sounds crazy, right? Who in their right mind would say no to cash, no strings attached? Well, the answer is surprisingly complicated, and it pretty much blows up one of the oldest assumptions in classical economics. You see, for ages, economists base their theories on this idea of homo economicus. It's this imaginary person who is perfectly rational, completely self-interested, and whose only goal ever is to get the most for themselves, a walking, talking calculator. But, as we're about to see, real people, we just don't work that way. And a simple game proves it. That game is called the Ultimatum Game. It was dreamed up back in the 80s to see just how far this whole rational human idea would go. And the setup? It's genius in its simplicity.
Here's how it works. You've got two players. The first player, we'll call them the proposer, gets a chunk of cash, let's say $100. Their job is to offer a split of that money to the second player, the responder. Now, the responder only has two choices. They can accept the offer and they both get the money just like the proposer said, or they can reject it. And here's the kicker. If they reject the offer, nobody gets a dime. Both players walk away with absolutely nothing.
So, what do you think should happen here? If we were all that perfectly rational homo economicus, the logic seems pretty straightforward. But what actually happens when real, live, emotional human beings play this game? Well, that's where things get really interesting.
And boom, this is where theory just smacks right into reality. The rational theory says the proposer should offer the absolute bare minimum, $1 out of the 100. And the responder, they should totally accept it because, hey, $1 is better than $0, right? But that is not what happens. Not even close. In reality, most proposers offer a pretty fair chunk, usually somewhere between 30 and 50%. And even crazier, responders will often reject offers they think are unfair, choosing to get nothing at all rather than accept a lowball deal.
This just lays it all out. Economists predicted 0 rejections, zilch. Why would anyone turn down free money? But in study after study, about half of all offers under 20% get rejected flat out. And while the numbers might shift a little between different cultures, this basic pattern holds true everywhere. People are literally willing to pay money just to punish someone for being unfair.
So this brings us to the big central question. Why would we act so irrationally, at least from a purely financial point of view? Why does this idea of fairness have such an iron grip on us? Well, the answers are hidden deep inside our brains and even deeper in our evolutionary past.
Okay, first, let's take a peek inside the human brain. When you get an unfair offer in this game, your brain isn't just crunching numbers. Oh no, it's having a much more powerful and emotional reaction.
You see, from your brain's point of view, getting treated unfairly isn't just a simple math problem or a small financial hit. It's perceived as something much more primal. That's right. Brain scans show that a lowball offer literally lights up the same part of your brain, the anterior insula, that goes wild when you smell rotten food or see something that just makes your stomach turn. Our reaction to being treated unfairly isn't logical. It is a deep, physical, gut-level feeling of disgust.
Okay, so it's a gut reaction, but why? Why are we hardwired like that? To answer that, we have to go way back. We have to look at our evolutionary history. A time when working together wasn't just nice, it was the only way to survive.
See, having this powerful sense of fairness was a massive survival advantage for our ancestors. Punishing someone who acted unfairly helped keep the whole group together, which was absolutely essential for things like hunting and defending against predators. It sent a super clear message that cheaters and free riders wouldn't last long. And on a personal level, it built you a reputation as someone who was not a pushover. It told everyone else, don't even try to exploit me. In the long run, making sure things were fair was the most rational thing you could do.
And this isn't just some relic from our cave-dwelling days. This deep, instinctual need for fairness has huge effects on how our modern world actually works, from how we run businesses to how we write laws.
The lessons from the Ultimatum Game are literally everywhere you look. Think about business. When people negotiate salaries, it's not just about what the market will bear, it's about what feels fair. Or our legal system. It's built in part on our desire to punish people who do wrong things, even if it costs society time and money. And politics? Oh man,
So many debates about taxes and social programs are really just massive arguments about our collective sense of fairness. This little game even helped kickstart a whole new field, behavioral economics, which tries to build models of how we actually are, not how theories say we should be.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. The Ultimatum Game proves that we are not the cold, calculating robots of old economic theories. We are social, we are moral, and our decisions, a lot of the time, are driven by an incredibly powerful, deeply human sense of what's right and what's fair.
And that leaves us with a huge and kind of mind-bending question for the future. As we build these incredibly powerful AIs, systems that are going to manage our resources and make decisions that affect all of our lives, how in the world do we teach them this fundamental, gut-level, and deeply human sense of fairness? What happens when a machine that only cares about efficiency meets a species that is willing to lose everything for the sake of justice?